North Street Bridge. Yep. Nice.
The sign here says Mass Central. There's several main bike routes across the state under the flag of Bay State Greenways, part of the Mass Central Rail Trail, which locally had been known as the Nawatic Rail Trail, an Indian name meaning in the midst of the river. But it's actually being renamed across the state as Mass Central Rail Trail. It's going to be 100 miles long, and there's about a dozen groups operating in various parts of the corridor to piece it back together inch by inch. The railroad that operated here originally was called Mass Central Railroad, and then they went bankrupt and they renamed it when it was reorganized into Central Mass Railroad. Then was swallowed up by the Boston and Maine Railroad as part of their system. But when we created a trail here, the idea of this 100-mile trail, we did not want to name it after a narrowing geographic area of Central Mass. This is not Central Massachusetts here. And so we're going to call it the Mass Central Rail Trail. Of the 105 miles, 85 are now in some kind of public protected status. And of that 85 miles, perhaps 35 miles are built. And the rest of it is coming on slowly but surely. So we're going to go down this little side street and then go on to the trail. This stub end from the river here to this street down here took 13 years to get built and was redesigned 3 times. And I'll show you why that happened down here. There used to be a bridge right there, and the bridge was taken out maybe 10 years ago. And now the trail crosses that grade here. This was the route where Calvin Coolidge used to take the train from his home in Northampton here to the State House in Boston when he was the governor. Matter of fact, the train stopped for him and picked him up or dropped him off on the point which was closest to his house, rather than stopping at the station as well. So I guess the perks of being the governor also included special perks from the railroad. These blocks here, these big granite blocks, are actually abutments from the bridge. They used to carry the railroad over that little street of Woodmont Road. As we cross up here, this is Bates Street. And this is at the edge of the industrial park in Northampton. In this section we're on, from the main line track, which is active track back there, all the way to the river is actually state-owned corridor here. This is not a city-owned project here. This is a state project, and it's a little different flavor, a little different construction standards here. Took a lot longer to get built too, and I'll show why that is over here. About 10 years ago now, before this section of path was built out, where it just used to end here, there was complications to get across this road. And so me and some friends set up a big tall ladder here, about 12-foot tall ladder. We blocked traffic here, tied to the traffic signal down on Route 9, and we blocked traffic for 15 seconds every 2 minutes. And we had someone up there with a video cam, and we proved at grade crossing here for the trail with a pedestrian phase traffic light would not impact traffic on Route 9. And we sent it to the head of Mass Highway, the head of the Regional Planning Commission, the mayor of Northampton, and this head of the DPW. As a result of that, we now have a pedestrian phase traffic light here. Before, the take was it couldn't be done without a tunnel under the road or a bridge over the highway.